You're in bed for 7 to 9 hours, but you still wake up feeling like you didn't sleep much at all. Like you've been hit by a truck or run over. You have brain fog, fatigue, that groggy feeling that may not even lift after coffee. So here's what most people do not know. Your brain has its own detox system, and yours is apparently not being activated. It's called the glymphatic system, and scientists only discovered this a few years ago. It does something absolutely critical. It clears those toxins from our brain, including the amyloid plaques that cause Alzheimer's and other problems with our brain, like brain fog. But here is the catch. This system only works during deep sleep, and a disproportionate number of menopausal women are deep sleep deprived. That means if you're waking up exhausted, you wake up at 3 a.m. and have difficulty going back to sleep, or maybe you're having night sweats and you have a continually disrupted sleep. Your brain literally can't clean and heal itself. Hi, I'm Dr. Manon Fielding. I'm 71. I'm a holistic physician, and today I'm going to show you why sleep isn't just about rest and laying in bed. It's about survival, our survival of our brain, and what you can do tonight to help your brain detox properly. All right, so let me tell you a little bit more about this discovery because it's really fascinating. In 2013, Dr. Macon Niedergard and her team at the University of Rochester made a groundbreaking discovery. And they found that your brain has a waste clearance system that's completely separate from the rest of your body. Your body has the lymphatic system to clear waste, but your brain doesn't have any lymphatic vessels. So how does that do that? And that was perplexing to scientists for many years about how the brain gets rid of toxic waste and what happens when it doesn't. What they have discovered was that we have an elegant system that uses cerebrospinal fluid, that fluid that surrounds your brain and your spinal cord. And here's how that works. So during deep sleep, your brain cells actually shrink. And it shrinks by about 60%, which creates space between the cells, and the cerebrospinal fluid can flow through there and pick up all the toxins. It's like a washing system. Pretty cool. They never knew this until just recently. So it clears out toxic proteins, metabolic waste, and those amyloid beta plaques that cause Alzheimer's disease and increases it so much in women. It's literally like your brain is taking out the garbage while you sleep. But if you're not getting enough deep sleep, or if your sleep is disrupted, this system simply can't do its job. And the waste accumulates in our brain. So the plaques build up, and over time, this contributes to the brain fog, to the memory problems, and the dementia risk. So if you're a woman over 50, you know exactly what I'm talking about, especially when I talk about disrupted sleep. In the morning, you wake up and you feel like you've been hit by a truck and you need a bunch of caffeine to get going and maybe keep that brain fog limited, but then you feel jittery, and it's this vicious loop for so many of us. So let me tell you what's happening and what you can do about it. There are three main reasons that your sleep is disrupted during menopause and beyond, and why this is such a prevalent problem for women. First, of course, is the hormonal imbalance, specifically the declining estrogen and progesterone. Progesterone is our naturally calming hormone, and we can increase it with herbs. If you fall asleep and stay asleep, then your progesterone generally is good. When it drops, you lose that calming effect, and you have that imbalance between estrogen and progesterone. Estrogen also helps regulate our body temperature. So when it's low or fluctuating, you get hot flashes, night sweats that wake you up. Then to complicate matters, you have cortisol, our stress hormone. And if you're anything like the women that I meet, you have all kinds of stresses in your life. Now, cortisol should be low at night and high in the morning when you wake up. But when you're stressed or your blood sugar is unstable, your cortisol can spike at night. And this is why you wake up at 3 a.m. with your mind racing. Your cortisol is surging when it should be at its lowest. And thirdly, and this connects to what we talked about in the first video, if you haven't seen that, go back and look, the blood sugar crashes. So if you eat a high carb dinner or dessert, or you have an alcoholic drink too close to bedtime, then your blood sugar spikes and crashes in the middle of the night. Your body releases cortisol and adrenaline to bring your blood sugar back up. And boom, you're wide awake. And here's why this matters so much. When your glymphatic system can't function properly night after night, the consequences are significant and real. You're not imagining this. And they're not easy to get rid of, but it is definitely possible. Those amyloid plaques that we talked about, they just don't get cleared out. They begin to accumulate years before they're diagnosed. Research shows that people with a chronic sleep disruption have significantly higher levels of that amyloid beta in their brains years before any symptoms of dementia appear. But you don't have to wait years to feel the effects. You start feeling some of them immediately. So you have the brain fog, memory issues, difficulty concentrating, mood swings, anxiety. These are all part of that whole sequence of events that aren't just menopause symptoms. They're signs that your brain isn't getting that deep restorative sleep that it needs to clean itself through that glymphatic system. But here's the good news. Your glymphatic system wants to work, and it will continue to work well, and your brain wants to heal if you have the right conditions. Okay, so let me give you the protocol that you can start tonight. Okay, these are the exact strategies that I use with my private clients that helps restore deep restorative sleep, and they're all important. So the first one is stop eating at least 3 to 4 hours before bedtime. Okay, this gives your body time to stabilize your blood sugar before you go to sleep. If you eat too close to bedtime, especially if you eat anything carb related, you're setting yourself up for that 3 a.m. blood sugar crash and the cortisol spike, working against each other. And if you must have a snack, make it a protein and fat, a handful of nuts, some Greek yogurt, some whole milk, not fruit, not crackers, not sweets, okay? Secondly, keep your bedroom really cool. I'm talking like 65 degrees, okay? I keep mine pretty low. Your body temperature needs to drop for that deep sleep to occur. You're not imagining it. And if you're having hot flashes, a cool room is non-negotiable. Make it really dark. I don't care how much blackout curtains, you have to cover up all the electronics, no screens, no light pollution. Your glymphatic system is most active in complete darkness. This took a little time for me to get right and to plug up all those lights coming into my room. And I also use a mask. You can use an eye mask. Okay, third, support your progesterone levels. So if you're on some type of progesterone, you can use that, but take it at night and it will help you sleep, okay? You can also support progesterone naturally without taking HRT progesterone by taking magnesium glycinate 200 to 400 milligrams before bed, or if you have IBS like I do, you can use a magnesium spray that you put on the inside of your arms, your inside of your legs, your abdomen, and that doesn't go through your digestive system. And it will calm your nervous system, supports GABA production, and helps you stay asleep. And there are other herbs that help as well. Things such as Vitex is really good, but you have to take that for a period of time for it to increase your progesterone. And L-theanine is another. And there are many more. Fourth, lower your cortisol in the evening. So how do we do that? No intense exercise after 6 p.m. No stressful news or social media before bed. And these days there's plenty of that, because this actually disturbs us a lot more than we realize, and we keep ruminating things in our head. So instead, do something calming, gentle stretching, reading, comedy if you're going to watch something on TV, A warm bath with Epsom salts works wonders. You can also, before you go to bed, keep a journal. And you can write down what's bothering you, get it out of your head onto paper. Or you can do a gratitude journal. A lot of people find that helps stimulate the good chemicals in our brain and help it calm down. And that way you can aim for 7 to 8 hours of sleep, but focusing on the quality, not the quantity. So we know that we need at least 90 minutes of deep sleep per night for this lymphatic system to function normally. And if you have a sleep tracker, pay attention to that specifically. And I have found that some of the smart rings track the specific amount of time that you're in deep sleep. And the one made by Reebok actually has a printout that tells you how much time you are in deep sleep, and you're aiming for that 90 minutes. So here's what I want you to understand. Sleep isn't just one isolated root cause. It's connected to everything that we talked about in this whole series. So blood sugar affects your cortisol, affects your sleep. LH, luteinizing hormone elevation, causes night sweats and disrupts sleep. Then you have sleep that we're talking about here, right? You also have inflammation, which is poor blood sugar control, disrupts your sleep. So all of these things are factors. And this is why you can't just take a sleeping pill and expect your brain fog to clear. You have to address the root causes. And when you do, when you stabilize your blood sugar, balance your hormones, optimize your sleep, reduce your inflammation, your brain can finally heal. So if you're realizing that your sleep issues are more complex than you actually thought, I want to give you something that will help. I created a free guide called Ageless Mind, How to Rewire Your Brain, Body, and Hormones. And inside you'll find our sleep protocol that we're talking about today, an optimization protocol, plus strategies for all 5 root causes that we're covering in this series. So the link is right below this video. Download it today and start putting these things into action. And tell me in the comments, what time do you wake up at night? Is it always the same? Do you have night sweats? I read every single one, and if you have any questions, I can often tell you which root cause you need to focus on and which one is based on your own sleep pattern. So in the next video, we're going to be talking about root cause number 3, the silent inflammation that is also working to destroy your brain. And it starts in a place you'd never expect, your gut. So if you're having digestive issues that kind of came on worsening during menopause, bloating, food sensitivities, this video is going to blow your mind. So subscribe now to this channel to be notified when the next video is uploaded. I'll see you in the next video. Sleep well. Bye-bye.